Okay, hold on tight and enjoy the show.
Hello. Just made the world safer.
How is this possible?
They can't handle me. You can't do nothing. Nothing.
Nerdy.
Alrighty then.
Hello guys, welcome to another one of my Fortnite videos where we're gonna get super nerdy with the plasma pulse. The only thing I could really think about while I was looking into plasma and glowing orbs and stuff like that was actually the amazing Sorcerer's Apprentice video, so I kinda had to watch that. I can really recommend that video, it is absolutely amazing. But anyway guys, let's get a little bit nerdy about the plasma pulse. Are we gonna be playing Miss Bunny Penny? No, we're not. She reduces the cost of the plasma pulse ability, so like playing with her exclusively really makes no sense, but it reduces the cost to 10 energy, which is great. But even though she looks amazing, it doesn't really make up for a main commander. We are going to be starting out by looking into Plasma Specialist Isa. That increases the damage of the plasma pulse by 80%. 29,220, and this is where things are gonna get a little geeky because note the important thing here, the hero ability damage modifier. It is super low for all the Plasma Commander Plus heroes. It is unreal. It has been set to 7.5. We actually have it even higher for the constructors that focus on decoys, so it is really bad in terms of boosting your own hero ability damage, boosting the damage of plasma pulse to slot in constructors that have plasma abilities. It is crazy. I'm gonna be running through my heroes so you guys can see what other values we have in the game, and ninjas top it with around 12, and soldiers, outlanders around 10, and constructors are the lowest ones in the game, dealing the least amount of damage with their abilities. So if you slot in a lot of high hero ability damage heroes in your support squad, you are going to be dealing more damage with your abilities, even if you have a constructor as your commander plus. I'm gonna be slotting in pure ninjas so you can compare the damage from what we had before with what we have now, just to give you an idea about how important the hero ability damage modifier is and how you can use it to boost your damage. Also from hover turrets if you are decreased there. As you can see now, 29,000 with my default setup, and if we swap this to all ninjas, it is going to be increasing all the way like silly crazy up to almost 34,000 damage. That is a huge, like 10% increase in damage just for that. So anyway guys, that was a little bit of the nerdy stuff. Besides that, we have other things that affect it. Ability damage, like bonuses from your survivors, the ones that have the tech kind of symbol, and then of course the overall tech score in your entire batch of survivors. That affects the damage from plasma pulse as well. So let's get away from the geeky stuff and look into some gameplay. Increased damage, this is what I am playing with, and I'm using 1-2 punch in this playthrough here. I was testing it with preemptive strike. It should deal around 40% more damage, but it is bugged, as with many other things we're gonna be looking into in relation to plasma pulse. Anyway, you slap down a small machine. It lasts for 6 seconds, and during this period it spits out mines that explode and deal crazy damage to everything around it, and it is super fun, super effective. I would say probably one of the strongest area of effect abilities we have in the game, which is why it has a very long cooldown. The only real downside of this ability is the crazy cooldown. We have something very funny with Malfunction Plus, where we can malfunction our plasma pulse so it only drops 8 mines, and these are supposed to deal 730% more damage and self-destruct after 10 seconds if they haven't been detonated, if they haven't hit any husk in the game. And as you're going to see, this is bugged as well. They deal the normal damage. The setup I have with Vintage Tech gives 21,000 damage for each of these plasma pulse things. and they're supposed to deal 7 times more, 7.3 times more, so 140,000 damage for 8 grenades, more than 1,000,000 damage if you can hit a single target with it, such as a smasher. And I also tested it out with the preemptive strike, so I should be dealing like almost 40% more damage than that. So we should be doing almost 200,000 damage for each of the plasma grenades while using vintage tech penny. When they get this fixed, it is going to be completely unreal. It is going to be a supernova crazy explosion that we're going to be having. But right now it is not a constructor that I would recommend you main for the malfunction plus, because the damage boost just isn't there. As you can see here, we're not even clearing out blasters and normal things in the area of these grenades that we are spawning directly on top of them. We're taking out some of the husklings, but that is pretty much it. It is just way too weak. Again, here in the middle of an encampment, as you can see here, the damage numbers just don't really match up with what they should. It is really, really bad that we're not dealing this super high damage. We're going to be getting you guys a close-up here with the 2 husky husks stepping on top of these mines. That's not 140,000 damage. So anyway, let's move on to Riot Response Hazard. 1 hot minute is his Commander Plus perk. This decreases the cooldown of the Plasma Pulse ability. In itself, this is pretty great. The ability lasts for 6 seconds, and we have a 26-second cooldown with this setup, which means that we only need to wait 20 seconds between each drop of the Plasma Pulse. You can cycle that with your hover turret, and you can bull rush to clear, and you can put down a decoy, making it pretty viable as like a gameplay mechanic for you to have. I think it is really funny to play with. It is really efficient, but you do need to have a good hardware melee weapon to manage things while your abilities are on a cooldown, because even though it is a shorter cooldown, it is going to happen. It is just too long, the cooldown, for you to be able to spam plate like an exclusive thing. But with this hero, it is almost possible to play like mainly focused on the Plasma Pulse, but you need to maneuver in your other abilities. Decoys to buy some time, bull rush again, buy time, push things away. Riot Control is if this worked, this would be the strongest hero in the game. 94 base energy damage in a 2-tile radius when you trigger the Plasma Pulse. Think about that. It is stronger than the explosion from Feel the Base in terms of damage. 2 tiles are gonna get wiped completely whenever you drop down your Plasma Pulse. If Preemptive Strike had worked, it would be around 40% additional damage on top of that. It would be... When they're gonna fix that, I may just main this as a thing, because the power is so real. Unless the numbers are wrong in the description, I played a lot with her. I really tried to make it work, and she is crazy strong as it is now. As you can see, we're dealing pretty awesome damage in a 2-tile area, and we have the normal Plasma Pulse machine just spitting out these bombs. So she has like the best of the best with a long cooldown on the ability, of course she does. But besides having what appears to be a damage bug, she does not appear to be dealing the amount of damage with the explosion, the initial explosion, as she should be. But a lot of things damage-wise, perk-wise, are like seriously bugged right now. But it is not the only thing that appears to be mismatching. There is also a mismatch for the area. It appears that when you put down the Plasma Pulse main machine thing, you don't really damage in a 2-tile area. I mean, so I should be hitting like everything 1 tile further away than what I have. This is just a 1-tile area. It does not appear to be dealing that much of an area damage. So it feels as if it is more a 1-tile area. And also sometimes if you have husklings or blasters, they're not going to be taking damage from the Plasma Pulse like initial explosion. It appears to just go directly through them without damaging them. So that is definitely also something that can be a little bit frustrating. So anyway, guys, that was what I had to share in this video. Plasma Pulse, it is a thing. It is insanely strong. It is super broken in the game right now, but not in a good way. Huge thanks to all my Epic Games supporters. Thank you very much for writing in, LokeHansen, and as always, thank you very much and very much for watching.
Alrighty.